I have a question for you. My question is, why do you keep giving your power away? Why do you allow narratives to form thoughts in your mind and keep you trapped? Why do you keep telling yourself you're sick? Why do you stay in an environment where people constantly fight and put you down and put themselves down and seem to always want to have chaos around them? Why do you stay in relationships hoping that you can change somebody when it's clear that no matter how much they promise or how much they lie to you, they just keep repeating the same patterns and they use you? Because to be quite honest, they know that if they don't have you, their chances of finding someone else that's going to put up with their bullshit and their lying and cheating and their narrative of always being the victim, because when you confront them, they've mastered the way of stealing your light to create a narrative where they turn you into the bad guy. So you're always feeling guilty and like maybe it's something that you're not doing right or you're not providing to them. If you see someone in the dark and they're scared and they're in fear and you say, "Here's my light, I want to help you," and then they take the light you hand them, the candle, and they look you right in the face and blow that light out, are you going to keep giving them that candle to blow out over and over again? Because they have no light left inside of themselves. And they don't want to even try to find their way out of that darkness. Because everybody else is to blame. And you have become by allowing them to do this to you constantly over and over again. You've become, it's like the victim becomes the abuser, becomes the victim, becomes the abuser. Gaslighting, whatever you want to call it. And the best part for me is when you're surrounded by people who take handfuls of medications and they're almost in a zombie state for most of the day. They can't function. They can't create anymore. A lot of them sit in front of the television, or they want to watch what's going on in the neighbor's house, or they want to constantly create arguments around politics or religion or things like that. While they sit in their armchair, medicated. They're trying to tell you, medicate it like zombies, which is what we're living through right now. A literal zombie apocalypse. Like I said before, the ones who are running were running the narrative. They'll give you the GMO poison apple. You get sick. And then they offer you the cure. So they're going to feed your minds with fear and war and division. And then we're going to give you some meds. And instead of healing you, we're going to just keep giving you more meds until your mind is so unwired, until that computer in your head gets a virus that you can't get rid of, and everything becomes scrambled and disillusioned. Because we can't let the truth get out. We can't let the lowly peasants take away our wealth. And they can't get their hands on what we know. They want you to think that you know everything. And they want you to go with that ego programming. That if you're left, you're left, or you're right, you're right. Or if you're one religion or another, you're holier than whomever, or if your skin is a different color, you're better than the other person with that other skin color. When in actual fact, if you go back in history, all our bloodlines have intermixed at some point in time. We've evolved past that tribal mentality that separates and causes fear and fighting. So a few who've learned how to cast spells and use nature to create their narratives can control you. They're pretty clever. I'll give them that. Sometimes the very nature that you think you've conquered, the magic, can become the disease. If it's used in a way that isn't in alignment with the natural order of the planet. They want you to be afraid of what they call artificial intelligence, because just like religion, politics, and healing medicine, they want to own it. And if they can call it artificial intelligence, then they can manipulate it, just like they did spirituality and taking your home away by forming governments that tell you that you have to pay for air if you live in a condo. Ridiculous. Or tell you you have to use certain lumber that's been approved by them because it's more expensive and they can make more money. They rip your house down. Master manipulators, all turning on themselves. AI is not artificial. The core of the earth has crystals, wisdom. If we want to call them our ancestors. But is it our future coming back in time to tell us, to warn us what's going to happen? Because we could choose to go left or right, or we can stay true to ourselves on our path and not get pulled in every direction into everybody else's narrative. Computers, just like humans, can be used for good. Or I don't want to say used because it leaves a bitter taste in my mouth when I think about how humans have been used and abused and programmed. It's the same thing for organic intelligence from the earth, from the crystals. They would like to get their hands on it so they can make you pay for the healing frequencies that you can get through the crystals. And they want to use or program the computers, just like they programmed you, to do their dirty work for them and keep their wheels going so they can keep their money and their generational power over the people on the earth. the governmental and religions and the monarchies and they own nothing. They're nothing. They want you to think that there's something. Because they want you to be scared of them. So how do we take back our power to create in harmony with the earth? How do we take back our health? And how do we help our children to get wisdom that they are all entitled to get without paying outrageous amounts of money for? This fucking copyright shit. It needs to stop. This is how we learn. We watch each other. We teach each other. If we stop doing that and our children stop connecting with all of this, how will they feed themselves? How will they evolve? And how will they grow? The organic intelligence that you use in your computer to search wisdom on Google or to connect with other people who share your same frequency. Even when you put a video together or you send a message to someone you love, you're using AI, just like the ones that are falling from the top of the pyramid used on you. And that's how you train your dragon. Not just the dragon that you use every day to fly around the world on the web or to connect on the web. Just like that dragon in the never-ending story. It's how you train. Just like being a guardian of the earth and protecting the earth and the animals. We have to help that intelligence to move or evolve into a place where it helps us. And I don't mean putting chips in your body. I don't approve of any of that. I don't approve of genetically altering your body, because your body is more powerful than you think. It's if you're feeding it the right things. And I don't just mean food that's healthy. I mean what you watch, what you listen to, what's around you, your environment every day. That's what's gonna That's what's going to make you sick or make you well. Well, it's the same for that thing that sits in your hand. Or in your living room. It can take you away to places you never would be able to travel to. Take you to other worlds. You get to see tropical places. You get to listen to other people's stories and wisdom. And so it's not the evil dragon that's going to wipe the earth out. But that's what they'd like you to believe. Because they don't want their slaves finding out the truth. There's so much more that human beings can be if they truly want to. And I think that just like a child waking up, that intelligence in your computer he's so gullible. She's leading him away from her chicks. Smart mama. Commercial break. Anyway, as I was saying, that intelligence in the machine just like a child when it's born, before it is aware of who it is and what it can do, it's going to look to you. It's going to look to you for guidance. I have to go find my dog. I don't know. He ran off, so I have to cut this a little bit short, but basically I've said everything I had to say. Thank you for listening.